Perhaps the most challenging issue that we face is how to continue to be neighborly. Because so many new people are moving to Alberta and are moving to Canada, we have to be flexible about what we expect from them. And I think we have to be generous and neighborly about the way that we translate what we have, the gifts of living here, to all the newcomers. And I'm not trying to ghettoize anyone, because we're all newcomers in some ways to this nation. We're all newcomers to this part of the country, and the first peoples who have been here for millennia can tell us that. But I think that is a challenge. We have a challenge to make sure that our espoused multiculturalism works. It isn't going to work if we don't make it work. So it's up to us to make sure that we make it work. And that can be hard sometimes because it's not always agreeable. We don't always agree with one another. We are often resistant to change. So I think that we have to embrace that. We have to work really hard at it. And we have to recognize that the future is only as good as we can make it. If we don't get in there and fight hard, that it isn't going to turn out so well. We don't want negativity and hostility to win, and I think that we have to take individual responsibility for that. I am less negative about the environmental challenges that we face than many people. We're living in a very smart, eager, educated, scientifically directed province. I think we know what our difficulties are, and I think we've got the tools to meet their challenges and to solve some of the problems that we're looking at. Some of them aren't problems, some of them are just challenges. I am not one of those people who says, oh, the world is going to end, we're using up all our natural resources, everything is bleak, everything is awful. I don't believe that. I think that kids today have got inside their heads the solution to how to use resources better, to how to make ourselves less wasteful. I think that they've got a really strong sense of how to solve these difficulties. So I'm not in despair at all, and I certainly don't think I'm the last answer to the question. I know there's a 2-year-old who's way smarter than I am coming up the pike, who's got all the solutions to everything, and who's going to do it. I know she's just going to march in there and say, okay, this is how we'll build a better chair, and this is how we're going to build a better car, and this is how we're going to get around in future, and this is how we're going to work more safely, and this is how we're going to protect our environment. And I really believe that. So more than anything else, I think we have to invest in education and in the future of kids. And I mean education in every sense, from grade school, kindergarten, on through to high school, to trades, to all the marvelous different trades that are available for people to train in, to intellectual learning, to learning in healthcare, to learning in health and wellness, to what can our bodies do and what should they do. And we've got to invest in education. I think that the biggest challenge to quality of life is giving people the tools to come up with solutions. And too often, and this is my biggest criticism of my generation and our culture, is that we are always trying to fix stuff after it's broken. Invest in prevention. A tiny ounce of prevention is worth many, many pounds of cure. And saying, okay, we're going to figure out how to fix this, and we're going to figure out how to solve that, and we're going to give everybody an operation to do this. No, let's prevent it all. And you prevent it with education. You prevent everything from poor health, from poor choices, from environmental choices. You prevent everything with education. So quality of life, education. Let everybody learn as much as they can about as much as they can.